Um, Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So if you happen to come across one of my videos for the first time, if this is your first time on my channel, like you saw my video thumbnail and you felt, oh, let me even see what this girl is yakking about, or you felt, oh, let me see what useful piece of information she has to share. Well, either ways, you're most welcome. I hope this video is interesting enough for you to want to subscribe after watching and keep up with more tutorials and fun videos I will be putting out. Anyway, in this video I am going to show how I brought this hair. Respect yourself, just respect yourself. Hi. Today I'm going to show how I brought a dead Revamp back to life. Now I'm not saying this hair is in its best state, but it's 101% better than the state it was in before now. I'm also going to show the whole process of transforming it into a wig. Like, you're going to, from start to finish, see how it came about being on my head, being laid on my head. In fact, everything. I'm not leaving any piece of information out, so I recommend you stay true to the end of this video to see everything, guys. So enough of the long talk, guys, let's get right into the tutorial. So you guys are about to see the state the hair was in at the beginning. Drum rolls, please. Man, the hair was in a terrible state, like all spongy, looking so bad, like it couldn't be revived back to life. So it was really bad. Well, that's in the past now. So what I did was I used the Afro comb to detangle. Afro combs are generally the best when it comes to detangling hair. I don't know whether I would say it's because of the structure, like the structure of an Afro comb, which is obviously different from how other combs are structured, but it really just makes everything easy. If you doubt me, you can try it. Detangling with an Afro comb makes detangling so easy. And with it, you don't necessarily have to detangle from the bottom of the hair to the top, like it's always said, if you're going to detangle hair, start from the bottom and comb gradually upward. You can start from anywhere, like you're seeing me do in the video. I'm not necessarily starting from the bottom of the hair. You can start from the bottom of the hair still, but I'm not necessarily doing that. You just detangle, and while you're doing so, make sure you have a good grip of the weft, of the ribbon's weft, so you don't, so you're just more coordinated in this process. So this is basically what I will do for every bundle of the hair. It's not difficult, it doesn't take time. Once you start it, you get a hold of it and it will be like nothing to you. Now, after combing out the hair, you would also need to flip the hair to the other side, like I'm doing so, and make sure you comb out as well. This is just to ensure the hair is completely detangled. Now, this really shouldn't take you more than a minute, because you've done the major work. You get, not like there's any major work actually, but you've done the most part of the work. After that, you then fold the hair into smaller places. Make sure they're small enough for your palm to get a grip of the whole Revamp wet, just like it is here in the video. And then you just comb again if you want to. I think I officially have a thing for combing of hairs. Now, once you're done with that bundle, you would keep aside and bring out the other bundles and repeat the same step on it. The next thing here is to wash the hair. After all, we are trying to treat the hair and bring it back to life, isn't it? The hair has probably accumulated a whole lot of germs over time. So here you're going to soak it into a little portion of water. This can be done in your bathroom sink or a plastic bowl like I'm using here in the video. And then I went in with a conditioner. I do not use shampoos to wash my weave-ons. They just make the work harder, make the weave-on harder. I use conditioners, and conditioners do the work very well, effectively, you get, while still leaving the hair well conditioned. And then after applying the conditioner over the weave-on, you then massage like I'm doing so in the video. Whatever you're doing, make sure the wefts are still in place. You don't want the hair to be scattered while it's in water and you are washing. So at every point, always make sure the weft is in the same folded way you had it initially, and then you wash like you're washing clothes. You get, we're trying to remove all the James and Joneses from the hair. So like I'm doing so, I am washing, and at every point the hand holding the weft of the hair still has a very good grip over the weft of the hair. Forget the fact that I have a thing for combing. You would at this point need to comb out the hair because it had slightly tangled from the washing process. So you're going to need to detangle at this point, and then after that, when you're properly detangled, you get to rinsing. Now of course, for every washing there's a rinsing. You need to make sure every form of conditioner used in washing the weave-on is out of the weave-on, and by doing so you would still need to scrub like I'm doing so in the video presently. Now this rinsing can be done more than once. It should actually be done more than once. You can do it like 2 or 3 times. For me, I did it 3 times in this video, but if you think after rinsing the second time you're okay, then fine. Just make sure you have all the residue of conditioner out of the weave-on. And then you hang and leave out to air dry. So this is the hair in its dried state, and here I'm trying to I'm getting ready to turn the hair into a wig. So as usual, I'm securing the wig cap on the mannequin with T-pins, and I'm aligning the center of the closure with the center of the wig cap. I'm making sure they are both aligned, and then I'm also securing the closure with T-pins as well. I did a lot of securing on this closure. That's to just make sure the whole sewing process is easy. I virtually put T-pins almost everywhere. I even put at the front of the at the front area, which you guys are going to see now. Yes, those 3 pins I attached there. Everything is basically just to make sure the sewing process is smooth and easy. And at every point I get really close to a T-pin, I remove it and continue sewing, and that's just how I went about with it. So here I let the video play on its normal speed to properly show me pass the needle over the thread 2 times, and this is to properly secure the sewing, and then pressing against the sewing like I'm doing so. This will make sure the sewing isn't loose, because who likes a loose sewing? No one. So I went over and sewed round the closure the second time. I just like to have this feeling like I've done something really well. I don't really like repeating something I've done. I mean, like, as I make this wig now, I do not want to find myself tomorrow remaking it for any reason. So whenever I'm doing something, I like to do it very well, to the best of my satisfaction, you get. So that is why I went over the second time. You could sew it just once. Many people sew just once and they are okay with it. This is just, like, say, a personal thing I have. The next obvious thing to do after fixing your closure or frontal is to work on the back area of the wig. So when I'm working on a new bundle, I like to pass the needle on the weft of the weave on, just like I'm doing so here. The needle is going through the weft of the weave on, as opposed to going under the weft. And this I do whenever I'm just starting or I'm ending the sewing. Then after I have properly secured it by having the needle pass through the weft of the weave on, I can then go on to pass the needle under the weft of the weave on. So this second sewing I'm doing here, the needle went under the weft of the weave on. I hope I made sense. When making a wig or even doing the hair on someone's head, you need to have a little mental calculation of the amount of weave on you have and the amount of space you're working on. This will help you have an idea of whether you should sew on doubled weave on or just single. In this wig, I doubled the weave on. It would also help you have an idea of the amount of space you should leave between each steps. Now, to creating these steps, you need to move higher with your sewing and then turn. It's at this point now that you find yourself creating the steps. In doing so, the weft on the top will be the one you're going to bend, and this only applies when you're doubling the weave on. This one on top that I am bending here in the video, I'm sewing on the weft so that it is flat and there are no bumps after I'm done with the hair. After doing so, I then take the weft below, catch it up with the one on top that I used in creating the bend, and then continue my sewing. And don't worry, I'm going to give you guys a visual idea of what I'm talking about very soon. I wouldn't just say all this and leave you guys imagining in your head what I'm talking about. So here's what I meant when I said taking the weft below, catching it with the one on top, and continuing my sewing. Understanding what I just said, you then go on to sew and repeat the explanation I earlier gave for every time you want to make a new step. Ya dig, ya understand. Well, I hope you understood. If you're like me and you like the easy way out when sewing on every line so that your lines are kind of straight, you could use a chalk to draw the lines before you then sew on them. Now, these chalks can be gotten from any tailoring shop or shops where tailoring materials are sold. The chalk is different from the types that are used in schools or for chalkboards. These ones are more lightweighted, you get. So yeah, at any tailoring shop you could just walk in there and ask them for their chalk. If you remember, I mentioned earlier in the video that when I'm starting with a bundle and ending with a bundle, I pass the needle through the weft of the weave on. Just like I'm doing here, at the end of this bundle, I pass the needle through the weft. It's just me making sure the sewing is really secure so it doesn't loosen in the future, because I really don't like remaking stuffs when I've done them. I like to just do something once and for all, and it's more like being a perfectionist, I would say. There's something I usually do when I'm about to switch to a new thread and needle. I just sew on with the new thread and needle, and then I tie with the old one, like I'm doing so here now. After sewing like once or twice, I'll then tie with the one that has almost finished, and then I cut off the one that's almost finished, and then just continue sewing like that. To ensure the closure is laid properly, I used this. And what is in that bottle is a spritz holding spray diluted with water. As we all know, a spritz spray can make the hair kind of frizzy, you get. So that's why I diluted it with water. But even as it's diluted, I still felt the need to soften its hold a bit. So I used this Hawaiian Silk Miracle Worker together with Hawaiian Silk Argan Oil, which you guys are going to see next. I know a lot of people have issues with treating their weavers or bringing their weavers back from a very, very terrible state. And then they always have this fear of taking it to the stylist because then they're scared the stylist might, take a portion and keep for themselves. Now, hopefully after this video, you're not going to have such fear because you would not have the need for a stylist anymore. You would do everything yourself. Treat your weave-on, treat your wig, treat whatever hair piece you have yourself, and enjoy your hair basically. For styling, I didn't want to apply heat on the hair because I felt the hair has, seen better days and would do better without heat being applied on it. Or maybe I just felt lazy and didn't want to go through the stress of, using heat and being burnt by the curling iron and all that stuff. Anyways, I styled the hair with bending rollers, and at this point you can just style as desired. Do whatever, whatever rocks your boat, whatever pleases you, style whichever way. So that's just what I'm doing here. Before you wear the hair at your own time, you can then sew on the bands to the wig cap. A very easy way to know where to sew the bands on the cap is on the same spot, because this kind of wig cap always comes with its own band. On the same spot where the band is, it's around that side you should fix in or sew in your new band. That's why I really like using this recap. It just makes the work easier. It feels like you are, working on a human head. You know where the crown area is. You know where the ear area is. You know where this and that is. So at this point, I'm cutting off the wig cap material from under the closure area, because at this point we obviously don't need it anymore. So I'm just cutting it off, and that's it, guys. Here is the wig before I put it on, with its curls still in place. And yeah, this is a spritz holding spray that I diluted with water in the spray bottle you guys saw earlier. And because, like I said, it can make the hair really frizzy and dry, so I wasn't spraying it directly on my hair. Instead, I was spraying it on my palm and then massaging through the hair. Now, if you are like me and don't exactly care about the curls, you could comb it out or still leave it. This is a styling and it should be done as you please. Come to the end of the tutorial, guys. I hope you liked it. Well, you'd better liked it. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Share the video to those you think might find it useful, and voila. So my next video, guys. Stay blessed, stay out of trouble, and as always, I love you all. Bye bye.